And welcome to episode 47 of TruBlu Politics Podcast. I'm Karen, Anita's co-host. Hey, Anita.
Hi, Karen.
Can you believe it? We actually bagged politics bar.
I know, the politics bar. I know how in demand they are, so we're very lucky to have them.
Very, very lucky to have them. So we have the lovely Ms. Jody Hamilton and the lovely Mr. Shawn Smith-Pierce. And here they are. We're bringing them in. And you guys are so wonderful to have Anita and I on your show every Friday. So we wanted to have you guys on so we could have you into our home, which right now is the East Wing.
Yes. Well, not exactly the old East Wing. East Wing doesn't look like that anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Unfortunately.
Sadly.
Neither does Rose Garden.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Sadly not. Yeah.
You realize our mutual friend, an occasional substitute when Jody has to do wonderful things, Jared Rizzi, he's actually kind of in a Karen and Anita sandwich today.
He is.
Oh, is that right?
Because we're doing the podcast with you midday here on Friday, and then this evening you guys will come over to the bar. So
that's true. Yeah. That's true. Yes.
We'll tell him he's in the sandwich later. We'll be like, you're the man meat in the Karen and Anita sandwich. Just
okay.
Yes. So a lot to talk about because, of course, everything is breaking every second of the fucking day. And by the way, we can swear.
Yes, we can swear. Yes. Yay. Can Shawn swear? I don't know. Jody, does he swear?
Does he?
Ever?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's got a sailor's mouth because he's a sailor.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He told us that. That's right.
Yup. Yes. I have a sailor's mouth, but I also have this weird thing after 30 some years of being in broadcasting where if I'm on a platform where I'm not supposed to swear, I feel like there's this little kid. Mm-hmm. I envision like some 3-year-old or whatever. like my niece who is now, God, is she 30? Jesus.
Oh wow.
Oh, welcome to it, right? I have kids that are 31 and 28 and then even older than that. She has a little one
who is basically the spitting image of her, exactly like her as a little girl, which is hilarious to the rest of us and terrifying to her. But when she was, oh God, was she 2-ish? She was 2-ish. And her brother, or her dad, my wife's brother, and his wife, they were driving our niece over to my wife's parents' house. And they live in the Phoenix metro. And somebody pulled out, almost hit the family car. Oh. And her brother just, did what you normally do. Like, fuck you. Just got really pissed off. And then, of course, they realized they have the toddler in the back.
Oh. Yeah.
And at first, she doesn't say anything because they're like, is everybody fine? Checking. Okay, it's fine. She's, okay, good. No, nobody didn't actually hit. Everything's fine. Okay. So they continue on. And as they're driving a few minutes after this near accident,
I can guess what's going to happen. I have children, so I know.
This little 2.5-year-old decides that she's just going to make up her new song. And fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Of course. That's exactly what would happen.
Fuck you. Does this for 15 minutes.
God.
They have to drive the long way because my wife's parents have one word that is like a big no-go, and that's how that's if they're really angry, and that's the F word. And so you have this little 2.5-year-old going, fuck you, fuck you.
That's been my protest song at the ice facility. Actually.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people's protest song. Yeah.
He did that in Meet the Parents, remember? Because
I did not remember that until you just said that.
Somebody said asshole, and he went, asshole.
Yeah. That's what kids do. You have to watch out when you have toddlers.
Sure do.
They will repeat whatever you say, and everybody will know that's where they got it, right?
This is why Donald only speaks like a toddler.
That's true. That's true. And acts like a toddler.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But honestly, she still laughs at that. She thinks it's funny. And I'm just like, okay, well, now when your little one doesn't, she's like, whatever, I'll be fine as long as she uses it in context. I'm like,
exactly.
There
That's
you
the
go.
point. If she doesn't,
They never do. They never do. They always just blurt it out when you're out somewhere, public church maybe, or something like that.
No,
exactly. God damn it! Right in the middle of church.
Yeah,
It's like, listen to you.
This woman that worked for my dad for 150 years, when her daughter was not auditioning, she was 4 years old, and they were going to send her to this private school in the valley here. And so she's 4. So they're sitting literally next to the head of the lower school on this campus. So Sharky and Jackie are sitting there, and Jackie's just being a 4-year-old and going caca poo poo doo doo shoo shoo. and Sharky's going, stop it. Mrs. Taboko, literally the headmistress of the lower school, is sitting right there. And so she keeps doing it. Sharky keeps telling her to stop it. And finally, she throws her utensils up and goes, fuck it. and Sharky was like, she went ghost white. And Mrs. Taboko said, well, she used it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
That's right.
She got into school.
She's intelligent.
She got into school.
Look, if you're gonna do something wrong, at least have the decency to do it right.
Exactly.
Exactly right.
That's right. So so we did want to talk about the horror of watching the East Wing torn down.
Speaking of doing things
on the
wrong,
people's house.
Exactly. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. So, we Anita came up with this video showing what Donald Trump said before the
TikTok.
plan was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And what actually is happening now.
It'll be near I guess you would say the East Wing. It won't interfere with the current building. It'll be near it, but not touching it. That's a knockout panel. And that goes right into the ballroom. In order to do it properly, we had to take down the existing structure.
How much of the East Wing will be torn down? The entire East Wing or just parts of it?
So the East Wing is going to be modernized. The necessary construction will take place. The plans changed when the president heard counsel from the architects and the construction companies who said that in order for this East Wing to be modern and beautiful for many, many years to come, for it to be a truly strong and stable structure, this phase 1 that we're now in was necessary.
It's about $200 million. It's going to be a couple of $100 million at least. I think it'll cost $250 million. It's about $300 million. A ballroom meeting someplace that could sit 600 or 700 people.
Seated capacity of 650 people.
The new one will hold 999 people, which is a difference. I say 999 because I didn't want to crack 1,000. I didn't want people to get concerned because that's getting big.
Okay.
I hate him.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I do
Oh my
too.
God. Yeah.
I do too.
It's going to cost $1 billion before it's all over, I'm sure.
And he's going to pocket all that money.
Yeah.
Well, it's all
You
pay
know
to
he is.
play. He's gotten these people, these, CEOs or these
It was
big
at
corporations
Amazon.
and billionaires. Yeah. Amazon, all the usual suspects, Comcast, Apple. Yeah. They're he actually called them all in. I think basically the same thing he did with the oil companies. Do you remember that? Where he called them all in and said, hey, if you donate $1 billion to my campaign, you're going to get all the deregulation and tax cuts, I think he said. Mm-hmm. And that's what he's doing right now. Mm-hmm. There's also that intimidation. They're afraid not to say yes.
Well, and then you have BS Barbie sitting there saying modernized. Yeah, right. Like Ben's rice. It's converted rice, converted from rice to roach shit. I mean, give me a fucking break.
It's gross. Yeah. And it makes the White House look ugly. It's got this big monstrosity on the side. Mm-hmm. The White House used to be so symmetrical and beautiful and just the way it is.
Yep. And they're gonna have major problems on the next step because knocking shit down is easy.
Right.
But getting the permits, among other things, to build stuff up, that's a lot harder.
And Caroline Levitt, I believe, said yesterday this is his number 1 priority.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what he's doing. We're going to talk about that later tonight. If that's his number 1 priority, I'm sure that's a nice salve to all the people who are out there not getting paid today from the federal government.
Exactly. And people who are, not the SNAP benefits are about to run out. They're losing their health insurance. And by the way, if he, and somebody asked Carol Levitt this too, because I've been asking this. if he can tear down the east wing of the White House, why can't he just tear the whole thing down? Why
Somebody
can't he go run at Washington Monument?
I can't remember, but there was a journalist that actually asked her, and she did her whole dancing around the whole thing.
Basically, she said he can.
She said he can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Basically, he can do almost anything if Congress does nothing or nobody else does anything to stop him.
Nobody will stop him.
You had a great point on that yesterday, Jody, in the bar.
I don't remember.
Yeah, remember about people about people saying no, including the dumbasses who are doing the destruction?
Everybody that's doing the deconstruction of this, all they had to do was say, no, I'm not going to go to work today. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing that? Tearing down the White House? Being on that crew?
How do you live with yourself?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, look at the ice monsters, you know?
Well, but
I mean, they're insurrectionists and Proud Boys and, Oath Keepers.
Look at what your governor there, Karen, is starting to do. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing that he is starting to do there in Illinois, because he is actually starting up a new commission to document all of the alleged abuses, which we know are actual abuses, by these ICE agents and CBP agents and everything. Basically, they are getting pre-prosecution ready and making sure that when the statute of limitations, when a good regime gets in next, when we get some good people in, that statute of limitation, they will.
So I think it was Tish James too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tish James is collecting video. They have a portal that they're asking people to send all of the video evidence and photographic evidence to.
Make every one of these ice monsters piss their pants, because I'm sorry, but the time is coming, and when it does, we're going to lock all you assholes up and throw you in a hole so deep God can't find you. So,
somebody said they should be tried in the ballroom that he builds. It should be where we have the Nuremberg trials.
I think was who said that, and I'm with her 100% on that.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be a good use of it.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
and then we'll tear it down. Then we'll tear it down.
Yeah, they're with them in it. Sorry.
Well, that's wishful thinking.
That slipped out.
Hey, look! I am absolutely. I absolutely think we absolutely need to make sure after this is all done, go after Stephen Miller, go after all of them, and
there's
make
none
sure
of
there's a penalty.
Yeah, none of the moving on for the good of the nation shit.
Yeah,
exactly. No, because that's not for the good of the nation. The good
isn't.
Good of the nation is to hold them accountable.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about the Israel deal?
The non-Israel deal, the fake Israel deal.
Exactly.
What do you think about that?
What are your thoughts?
Well, it was a peace.
It was supposed to be a peace.
It was supposed to be a peace deal, and Joe Biden was the first one to do the same deal, which lasted months, by the way.
And got out all those hostages,
by the way. 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that?
Lasted a long. This one lasted, what, 48 hours, 72 hours?
Yeah.
Not even a week,
And now, the Knesset just said, let's take over the West Bank.
Yeah.
Not only did they do that, J.V. Vance, Mr. Couchfucker himself, was over there, and he basically just kind of did his usual laughing off. That wasn't very nice.
Oh, my God.
Did you hear what he said when somebody asked him about the ceasefire holding? And he said, Jared Kushner, he thinks it'll hold, and Jared Kushner's the investor there. Did you hear him say that?
I did not hear that.
Yeah, he called Jared Kushner the investor. You should find that clip. I swear to God.
But there's also the whole thing of he was saying this as they were already kind of shooting at each other. So it's like.
And Hamas won't disarm because they didn't have a part two. There was never anything else. It was always,
did the shooting ever stop? I don't think the shooting ever stopped.
It did for about, literally for about a weekend, for a couple of days. It kind of stopped, but it's never really fully stopped.
Right.
And they never let in the aid, the food.
Right. They're still
Israel wouldn't let it in.
Well, they let more of it in because they had been letting none of it in. But it all depends. I mean, they were going to let most of it in then because they said, well, you hit me back first, which, parse that. But because they said, you hit me back first, then they said, well, we're going to let less of it in. And I guess they've been just walking that back.
Well, how can you have a peace deal if there's no two-state solution.
Right.
They didn't ever think about that. It was just, let's get this ceasefire so maybe I can get the Nobel Peace Prize.
Right.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
Exactly.
That's what it was all about.
There was never anything after that. This was always a scam.
By the way, the applications for the Peace Prize each year are due, at the end of January, beginning of February?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. But don't tell him that. Don't tell Trump that. I mean,
I'm sure somebody knows.
Oh, yeah. I know they know because, among other things, the Nobel Committee, somebody, I can't remember where I saw the story, but somebody on his team was basically like pushing them, and they sent them a letter which they released to the public, which basically pointed out on the website, if you go to the website and you look at the application says at the end of January, beginning of February for every year. Thank you very much. Just very, a polite FU. And you're like, God, you dumbasses, seriously.
But my theory is that they just don't tell him that stuff. I mean, they don't tell Donald Trump. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know what's going on.
I don't think you're wrong.
Somebody in the White House knew that he couldn't get the Nobel Peace Prize because he
probably everybody knew he couldn't.
Yeah, and yet they let him keep going because maybe they wanted to try to get that ceasefire or to try to do these things
because they like their ketchup.
Yeah, but he's not really. That's true. That's
they're like, crap. Can we please not clean off the walls again?
But what is he doing? He's doing ballroom. I mean, that's what he's doing.
John had a great joke about that last night. What was it? Jody said that Trump is the last president that was this focused on his ballroom was LBJ with his pants.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's true.
Gosh.
That's funny.
Very true.
When they were measuring the inseam, and he was very concerned about his ballroom. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What is it? He goes on.
Thing, baby. You all know that's John.
He needs room for his bungholio.
Exactly. You remember that video clip, audio clip, right? Exactly.
Yes, I do. Of course. Yep. Yeah.
Well, being in Texas, there, Anita. Of course you would. We love
LBJ. My daughter went to the same school as him.
No.
Texas State. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it used to be.
What was it like Hagar? Was it Hagar pants or something? Or
something like that.
Something, yeah.
What he was wearing? Yeah. Well, they have a big statue of him there, and everybody has to like touch the statue for luck or something every time they pass it. But yeah, he's our Texas's claim to fame. I mean, George W. Bush. I don't know. People want to claim him.
There's this other claim to fame that some Texans actually support, and I think it's probably a much better claim to fame. One of the most incredible comedians ever. You might know her as Jody's mom.
Well, come on.
Oh, that's right. Well, Santa. That's true. That is actually our most. That is true. We have the Alamo and Carol Burnett.
Just saying,
No, it's Carol Burnett and then the Alamo.
That's true. That's true.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. Carol Burnett.
That's true. I forgot. She was born here.
Carol Burnett,
right.
The Alamo, Ozzy peeing at the Alamo.
That's true.
Barbecue.
He's not in quite the same class, but
Tex-Mex. But Carol Burnett's at the top. You know what I'm saying?
She's definitely. And then LBJ down there somewhere.
Although there is a band in Texas, really good. What is it? What do they call it? Dirt road country, whatever. Called the Derailers. And I literally went to high school with a couple of guys in that band.
Did they play in Austin?
They play in a lot of places in Texas.
Probably.
Yeah. The Derailers is a really good band. It's yeah.
Is it? It's country.
Oh yeah, it's kind of it's old fashioned, but it is old fashioned with a newer twist. I mean, these guys have been literally great musicians since how long have I known? One of them, his name these days is Basil. I won't give you his old name. And the other one is Brian. And Basil and Brian, I've known them since 8th grade.
Basil from Texas?
That's unusual.
Basil McJagger.
That sounds like
what?
Basil.
What?
Basil.
What are you doing here, Basil?
Basil McJagger.
We also have
Basil
the chicks.
McJagger of the Derailers. Oh God, love the chicks. Love the chicks.
Yeah, they're great.
One of them lives here in San Antonio.
Kick ass. That's awesome.
Yeah. in Alma Heights.
Because I know there's the sisters, and then I know there's Natalie. I'm just trying to remember is it Natalie who lives there?
She's Elise. No, it's the other one, the brunette.
One of the sisters.
Yeah, one of the sisters.
Well, they keep changing their hair color, though.
Well, so that's just it. It's true. Saying brunette, today.
Well, her son plays. Her son was playing. I don't know if he still does the Little League. And my son umpired one of his games.
Oh, cool.
She was there. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
They seem to be very intelligent women. They seem to be very good.
They're great.
I wish they put out, more music, because I like their music.
I do too. I remember the George Floyd, they put out that song March March. You remember that?
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
It's part of their
It's very powerful. Yeah.
I was working country music radio back in the day when the whole kerfuffle happened.
I remember.
And that was we had the Dixie Chicks on the side of our radio station van. So that was suddenly it became a huge thing, and it was a huge thing internally because people like me were like, no big fucking deal. Tell the W. Bush ass kissers to, get a piece of ice and suck on it. I mean, give me a fucking break.
Yeah, fuck Toby Keith.
Yeah.
I certainly would not. But I remember back in the day when he was somewhat okay. But God, I just these people have been dividing us for years.
Cancel culture. I mean, you talk about cancel culture. That was cancel culture. But the thing is,
talk about snowflakes. I mean,
they've always been. Yeah. I mean. They've always been
little panty waist, little pains in the asses. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's all the Bad Bunny stuff. As a matter of fact, because the NFL told them,
NFL told them exactly, because they're like, well, you should do literally. God, who was it? Was it which Republican House member told them you should do Lee Greenwood?
Oh, George Strait. Somebody said George Strait. George Strait. Nobody. Who's going to know who George Strait is? That's under
Look,
50.
Most people. I mean, if you know country music, even
I guess
if
in country,
younger,
yeah.
I mean, George Strait is a god. He's a legend.
Yeah.
He's like Dolly Parton or Elvis Presley. I mean, these are all people. Queen Latifah. I mean, these are names.
Cher.
Exactly. In different corners of the music world, and yet Guns N' Roses. And people who don't listen to that at all go, shit, I know who they are.
Well, and they've got both kinds, country and western.
Exactly.
Like I said,
but still, George Strait is pretty old for him to appear at the Super Bowl. I don't know about that.
It's just the numbers. The NFL is doing it for two reasons.
Ratings.
Right.
Well, yes, but also the NFL is looking to do what the NBA did and Major League Baseball has tried to do, which is to expand to other nations.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, they are. They're playing a lot of their games in other places.
They do.
Right, but where is the NFL getting the biggest reaction outside of the U.S.?
Mexico, probably Central and South America.
Exactly. Anita, you're 100% correct. And of course, what do they speak in Central and South America?
Spanish. Yes. But don't worry, because the Republicans...
So having Bad Bunny, they're just going, oh, well, shit, we made big bank with this. We made big bank with this. Hello. I mean, it's, when the Dodgers game is tonight, and if you want to listen, if you have Sirius XM, this is one thing that I absolutely loved about Apple TV, and I wish that all the sports would do this. So if you watched baseball on Apple TV during the season, you could go to the lower right corner, and there's a little icon, and you click on the icon, and it gives you the ability to watch the video, but listen to the local radio.
Right.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's great, right? If you're a Nebraska sports fan, we've been doing this shit since the 90s. And people say, what do you mean? I go, okay, in the mid-late 90s, when the University of Nebraska, the college team for the Cornhuskers, could have beat some of the shittier NFL teams over the last 50 years. They were that fucking good. And yet you would listen to the TV or maybe the opposing radio, or if there was a generic national radio, like Westwood One used to have a generic feed, It could be like fourth quarter, 3 minutes. Nebraska's up 56-3, and they go, well, I don't know. The other team could still come back and kick them in the nuts. And you're like, oh, fuck off. As a Husker fan, you're like, go fuck yourself.
You sound like my husband when he talks about the Cowboy coverage.
Right. So, but that's it. There are lots of people with their favorite teams that feel that way.
He's always whining about it. He's
right.
Like,
what Nebraskans learned to do back in the 90s when we got sick of that shit is that we synced up the television with the radio. Now, back then, people would have to do it kind of with a VCR. You would start recording, and you'd have to get the kind of VCR where you could play it as you were recording. Now, with DVRs, it's really easy. But what you do is you sync up the TV with the radio so that what you're hearing matches what you're seeing. And you're like, oh, this is great. Well, this is what MLB has done with when you watch baseball games on Apple TV. So you go and you just select the audio you want. Some teams have Hispanic radio. Like the Dodgers has a really good.
We do
exactly
here for sure. We have a bunch of Spanish stations. Remember the Cowboys,
Texas Rangers, Cowboys. I mean, I think the Houston Texans.
Absolutely, anything in San Antonio, the Spurs. Yeah,
but you go on Sirius XM, and when you go to a sports game like that, and they will have, if they have like a good Spanish station, so you'll be able to pick. Do you want to listen to the Dodgers feed? Do you want to listen to the Dodgers Spanish feed? Do you want to listen to the national English feed, or do you want to listen to the Toronto Blue Jays feed?
Right.
You don't even have to know Spanish, and you can listen to the Spanish Dodgers feed, and you know that those folks know their shit. It's a really good broadcast, even though you don't know Spanish.
I do that with the Cowboy games. I'll listen to the Spanish. Yeah.
Right.
Way to learn another language.
Right. Yeah. So the idea that the NFL is, they're going to pick Bad Bunny. Dude.
It's so dumb. I know. People.
Hello.
And by the way, they're having their stupid turning point thing with I don't know who they're going to have. I've heard Kid Rock, Ted Nugent,
threatened to have
measles.
Didn't Laura Trump say she was part of that?
I
was going to say, I think I heard you say that.
No. I hope she does. I hope she does because that's where she belongs. And that nobody's going to watch that. I mean, seriously.
But hey, listen, speaking of, I don't want to bring up a sore spot, but speaking of the NFL, the Bears have 4 wins and 2 losses, and the Cowboys.
Okay, all right. You're just going to rub that in forever. I know. Because the Bears beat the Cowboys pretty badly, actually. It was very sad.
I'm just saying, y'all can do that. I'm still in my college mode. Y'all can play on the NFL. I'm fine. I don't worry about that.
I was sending Anita gifts all night.
The Bears. And I was sending back no moss.
I'm
a Niners fan, so I don't like the
Cowboys, no. So we don't like the Niners either. Yeah. Sure.
It's friendly.
We used to always battle it out.
It's funny to hear you guys say this because it's all friendly rivalry with y'all, which I've mentioned that before, that Nebraska has a friendly rivalry still with Oklahoma, and friendly rivalries are what we're supposed to have, as opposed to fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. And you're going, dude, it's a game.
It's a game.
Take a chill pill. Have a breath.
I know one of my dearest friends is a Cowboys fan, and she was just out here visiting, and she actually went to a Niners game rooting for the Niners, wearing a Niners jersey. I'm like, oh,
what? Oh, I don't know about that.
We used to just.
She can't be. Go ahead.
She still loves her Cowboys, but it was very funny because I went to the Super Bowl in 1997, and my boyfriend and I at the time were walking around the arena, and we saw these 2 guys. One was in a Dallas Cowboys jersey, and another guy was in a Niners jersey, walking together as friends. And I said, "Look, it's Candy and me." And he goes, "Oh my God, it is! What is going on?"
Yeah, but it did used to be that way. But these guys, I mean, you saw them at the the golf tournament in New York?
Yeah.
Oh God,
the Ryder Cup. Yeah. I mean, these guys are just.
Well, that was also on Long Island though, where
I know, but then you know what? I'm sorry, I don't. Long Island or whatever. These people.
What you're saying
they were MAGA.
even in the deepest MAGA areas, you're saying these people could have comported themselves with a little bit more respect and decency.
Is that the Arkansas of the East?
Yeah.
Long Island is. I mean, it's kind of like the Alabama. By the way, here's a wonderful.
This is Staten Island.
As Jody says,
Alabama.
There's a wonderful old sports joke that goes like this. It says, never take a football player from Alabama on a ride through the rural South, because you're just going to have problems, because you're just going to keep passing by those telephone poles and they keep going, look, my family tree. Look, my family tree. I know that's really, really mean of me to say, but
well, that's the same in West Virginia. There are other places in the country like that.
I mean, everybody
very linear.
Mississippi and Alabama always have the same joke, which is thank God for the other one, because
exactly. That's what we say. Thank God we're not Oklahoma.
Right. See,
what is it?
Louisiana.
The favorite. Is it a squash of Alabama? Pumpkin.
If I had the buzzer, I would buzz you now.
But Alabama is a beautiful state. It really is.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of great places in this country.
Yeah,
and we all make little jabs at each other. It's not supposed to be like
hate each other.
Right.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
but it's hard not to feel that way about certain people who are trying to destroy democracy. And I mean, really, don't seem to care about what's happening.
Well, right. Sending, that are celebrating sending federal troops into Chicago and abducting children from their schools and bringing them and putting them in detention centers with
throwing women down on the ground. And, I mean, just horrible. I've seen so many different, these guys brutalizing people for no reason.
Right.
Smashing in windows for, because a woman
just because they can't. Pregnant
pointing guns. I know. Oh my God. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all over. And I mean, I think that there are so many people here now, too, that are just like they have passed the point where they're just showing up and protesting. It's like they want to start like getting physical with these people.
That's not good.
And that's not good.
People are getting angry.
It's not good.
People are
That's
getting
exactly
angrier.
that's what they
want.
Exactly.
What they want.
If you like what you're hearing, please consider subscribing to TruBlu Politics Podcast on Patreon. At any level you can, it is so appreciated and so needed. Anita and I would love to be able to increase the frequency of episodes. We would like to upgrade equipment to make these podcasts even higher quality. But, we have day jobs. We can't do this without support from our loyal listeners and our TruBlu crew politics podcast subscribers. And at any level, you will get additional content as well as be a part of our TruBlu crew podcast chat room, where we can interact with you all and hear back. Give us some feedback. Whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on, please consider giving us 4 stars, 5 stars, and a review. We love hearing from you, and we couldn't do it without you. So please consider subscribing. Buy me a coffee. Buy Anita a coffee. And keep the fight going. We are living through unprecedented times with attacks on our democracy and our rights. So we want to continue to be voices in the resistance, and along with you, keep fighting the fight against this autocratic regime. Thanks, everybody. We love you.
Speaking of that, the government shutdown, that, people are hurting, and that's what's going to happen. I'm sorry. People are going to just, that's what I'm afraid of, because it doesn't seem like they care about the government being shut down, that everything's going to shit.
Well, they don't.
No, they don't. Donald Trump is worried about the ballroom.
Right.
What is the modern Republican motto? Always remember that. 5 words. Remember, I've got mine. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And those Republicans in the House and those Republicans in the Senate, you think any of them are actually having any serious pain from this? Hell, what's the senator from West Virginia, used to be a Democrat. Now he's Republican. He has,
Manchin.
No, not Manchin.
Oh, not
the guy
Manchin.
who has Baby Dog.
Oh, Justice.
Yeah, Jim Justice, right.
Yeah,
Who in the middle of the shutdown had a birthday party for his dog. I love my dog. But I'm going, dude, that's just and then of course the clueless media who like, well, they had people lined up around, for cake and shit. Yeah, you know what? They had people lined up around for cake because people were fucking hungry.
I know. Oh my God. Yeah. Did you hear that they actually destroyed, or they stopped 91 million pounds of food going to food banks?
Yes.
The federal government.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they
Right before holidays.
That's right.
Around.
And
Can you imagine?
SNAP, the money for SNAP is running out in just
Yes,
a
it
few
is.
days.
Well, it's not even just that the money for SNAP is rolling out. It's also the fact that in past shutdowns, we mentioned this yesterday at the bar. In past shutdowns, when they've done shit like this, they have left basically the automated system rolling.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
No. This time they're absolutely not doing it. They're shutting the system down. So if you had a state where they could find some money and shunt it into the system previously, the federal government was like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. I mean, at least they'll get partial payment. This time they're like, fuck you.
Yeah,
40% of Americans are on SNAP.
Yeah.
40%.
Yeah.
Think about that. 50% of babies born in this country are born under Medicaid.
You guys get an early version of this headline from the News on Tap today. Ongoing Republican shutdown threatens food aid for 42 million people. There you go.
Oh my God. I swear to, it's just.
And the story that you gave me, was it yesterday or the day before, Jody, about Newsom?
Oh yeah, he's our National Guard are going into food banks to help distribute food for people because of SNAP, because they're not doing, the feds aren't doing it. So good use of the National Guard, Governor. And I think that we've got some money in our coffers because it's a well-managed state to help some people. It won't be as much, I'm sure of it, because we don't have as much as the federal government. But I mean, people will get fed, but I don't know how long that will last.
Right.
Let me ask you something, Jody. I mean, how much is this hurting the state of California? Do you know? Like, it's got to be hurting agriculture. He's trying to harm the economy in California.
Oh, God, yeah. He's trying, but so far because it's a well-managed state, we're okay right now. And once Prop 50 passes, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I know.
We'll pass.
Can't wait.
But it's we're doing what we can for the people of California. I know that if the governor could help others, he would, because he's that kind of guy. He's doing as much as he can with the money that we have, because we have a balanced budget and there's money that he can utilize. I mean, there's a lot of it. So, and whatever he wants to do with my tax dollars to feed people, I'm fine with.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I don't
and that is that's such an
Yeah.
important thing too, is that, in the people that are going to suffer the most are the people in the red states, right?
Absolutely.
And I mean, so I remember hearing this I think it was in the middle of the night because I could not sleep. But so Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan,
Right.
Affordable Care Act, ACA, and Medicaid. In August 2025, Whitmer signed a directive to expand affordable health insurance access by maximizing ACA enrollment. But even, let's see, she's implemented several initiatives to ensure state residents receive necessary services focused on healthcare, housing, education, economic stability. Recent actions in 2025 include signing executive directives to boost healthcare and housing program awareness and signing bipartisan budgets that fund essential services. So they were able to work with Republican legislature, right? And get this done. It was on a bipartisan basis. So they're actually doing things for their constituents.
Good. But here in
going to help
Texas,
them ride through some of this.
that's not happening here, and it's not happening in other red states. So we're screwed. I mean, most people on the Affordable Care Act live in red states. I can't remember the percentage, but I know it's a higher percentage of Republican.
I know that Charles Gavil would have that info, but it's
Well, as we were talking about with my increase, I just got another note from my insurance company. My increase is almost 15%. This is California, so it's lower than most, but it's still high. 15%.
Is that the ACA?
No,
ACA?
I'm not on the exchange. This is just off exchange.
Just in general, yeah.
So everybody's premiums are going up.
Yes.
Everybody's whether you're on the ACA or not, but then those subsidies are going to go away. So like my brother who is on the ACA, his individual coverage is $250 a month right now with the ACA.
Right.
It's going up to $1,800 a month.
Oh my God! And who could afford that? Nobody can afford that. They'll just have to go
we
without
did the numbers.
healthcare.
We did the numbers earlier this week too. Depending on where you're at, I mean, there are places in the country where it's going from, 700-800 to thousands.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is when these people don't have health care, when so many people don't have health care, we're going to end up paying higher premiums.
Absolutely.
Even more. And the hospitals.
Because people still need to get, they still need to get health care, so they will go to the ER, and then all of us pay for it.
Yep. And they won't have any preventative care, right?
Right.
They won't be able to go before it gets out of hand. So it's going to cost even more. Mm-hmm. This is just so backward. Republicans just don't think about. No.
Yeah.
Well, they don't care because it's not affecting them. Remember, there's that motto. There's that motto again. They don't, and they also don't think it through. Mm-hmm. The idea for them is push the poor people, push the sick people, push the other, whatever they name it, push them elsewhere. And you go, well, okay.
Where the fuck are they supposed to go?
I know.
Exactly. And they never want to define elsewhere. Elsewhere is always somewhere else. Make them someone else's problem.
Take them away.
And
but the idea is, hey, jackass, you're the one in fucking government. There is no elsewhere. This is the only planet we have. So if you're going to define for me elsewhere, because guess what, asshole? The Native Americans already figured this one out. There's always somebody there. We white people, oh, there's nobody here. Oh shit, hello, get out of my way. No, I mean, so there's always,
and they all call themselves Christians too. They love to call themselves Christians, right?
Get John's book on
that.
I
have. Yeah.
Is this what they were talking about with the death panels?
Yeah, because of the death panels. Yeah. Well, the death panels were always insurance companies. Go ahead, Jody.
The other thing, I mean, the ACA's been around for what, 15 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Republicans have yet to come up with a different plan.
That's right.
They tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act 70 times.
It's always 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later. 2 weeks.
It's going to be beautiful.
When they say we got a better plan, no, you don't. If you had a better plan, you'd put it forward.
Right.
Nobody believes that because they tried to repeal Obamacare 70 times, and the plan that they came up with would kick off 30 million Americans from their health care.
The plan that they came up with, regardless of whether anybody likes it, there was a former member of the House from Florida. God, I can't remember his name, but the plan that they came up with is the one that he said, which is die and die quickly. That's the
one. That was from Florida.
Right. We had him on Randy's show back in the day.
I can't believe I don't remember his name now.
I know.
We're too, and
we were just talking about it. Oh God!
And Stephanie was talking about him.
Yeah,
I thought.
Probably.
Let me see.
And I have met the man, and I should remember, but I'm
going to come to you.
Remember how everybody?
Alan Grayson.
Alan Grayson. Thank you.
And the media's heads exploded, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, you can't say that!"
Like their heads exploded when Hillary said deplorables, and yet here they are actually proving it every single day. Poor people, fuck them. Kids, let's beat them with CBP and ICE.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, my God.
And if that ain't deplorable, I don't know what the hell is.
And look what they call us. They call us communists. Pedophiles. I mean, what did she call? What did they say? The people
anti-American,
Hamas.
We're not patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, they call us every name in the book.
They're damn deplorable. That's exactly what they are.
But. Yeah. Exactly. So how does that then, Anita? You were talking about that Quinnipiac poll that you saw.
Yeah, there was a today Q poll. I can never say Quinnipiac. I'm trying. But the Q poll today. Showed that a generic poll had Democrats up by 9. Yeah. The Gallup poll that they showed, I think, on CNN had Democrats up by 7. Now,
either one is great.
Yeah.
Either one. In 2018, when we had that big landslide during the midterms, we're only up by 4.
Mm-hmm. Right. That was the one that Harry Hatton pointed out. Did we actually play that video, Jody, or did we just? I can't remember if we played it in the bar the other night.
I forget. I don't listen to our show. What?
I think it's gonna. Honestly, I think the midterms.
You have to sleep.
Yeah,
go to sleep.
Yeah, but Harry did it over on CNN, and he said, so this is the generic preference poll, which is self-identified. So people self-identify as Republican, Democratic, Independent, and who they would vote for. Mm-hmm. And in that poll, In 2017, Democrats were up by 4. And of course, in 2018, Democrats kicked ass. In 2021, they were up by 1. In 2022, it basically broke even. In 2025, this year, if we're up by, he had 7, but if the Quinnipiac poll has 9, I mean, that is an absolute, and that, you know, as several people have said, that totally explains why Republicans are like, even in deep red Texas, are like, fuck.
They're freaking out. And then that's right. In Indiana, they failed to cheat, even when sending J.D. Vance there.
But here in Virginia, Democrats here in the state house are saying, you know what? We're up about 12. In the for the governor, lieutenant governor we're up about 7. It's only about 3 or even for the attorney general, and I really think that needs to change. I think that people. We'll talk about that. In fact, we can talk about that later tonight at the bar.
There's some other things.
Yeah, but long and short, if Democrats do win the slate here. And then they win at the local level, which is also, looking likely as far as the state level with the absolutely. Democrats here are going to push it through and get anywhere from 2 to 4 seats. And I guess from what I hear, they are looking to mirror what y'all are doing out in the California end there, Jody, which is, the if Republicans play nice, then we'll go back to playing nice. If they don't, fuck them.
Well, you have a lot more seats to gerrymander into Democrat.
Yes, we do. But it's also not somebody on this metaphorical risk board in the redistricting wars that the Republicans were, because they started this shit. The Republicans that live with you, Anita, down in that corner of the world in Texas started this.
They may come to regret it, honestly.
I think so too. They never put the Virginia piece on the board. They didn't put the one seat that's in Utah on the board. And now it looks like because of population and where people are moving, there may even be an additional seat in Idaho that, if Democrats...
They're pissed in Idaho.
They are.
Right.
Oh, they're so mad. Yeah.
But Democrats could win a seat that is basically Boise in Idaho.
Wow.
And these are seats that the Republicans never figured. They're like, well, we're going to set this up and we'll fuck them there and we'll fuck them there and we'll fuck them there. And
Did
now
you see
Virginia
the
goes,
numbers?
hello, Virginia entering the chat.
Yeah.
The numbers that they had in Idaho, in Boise, for the No Kings, I mean, it was very impressive.
Huge. I know.
And I think,
Did you guys see Montana?
Montana.
No, I didn't see that.
That was massive too. We definitely want to, talk about that. But I do think that a lot of this is, due to the messaging by people like Gavin Newsom, people like J.B. Pritzker.
Yes.
And
Jasmine
I have
Crockett.
to say, Jasmine Crockett, of course. But I have to say that I think that the Democrats are finally kind of getting with the program, reading the room, and doing some of these needed things that they need to do to get the narrative out there, to get this, tell this fact, get this story that they're fighting. They're in D.C. They're ready to do the work. If only the Republicans would get back, and meanwhile,
Chuck Schumer's cursing. Cursing.
My gosh. No, but meanwhile, you have Republicans lying about going and meeting with their constituents when they're holding no town halls.
No.
But I want to play this because I thought this was just a good example of what Democrats are doing. They held hearings this week regarding the shutdown. And I thought, and this was just the opening by Hakeem Jeffries, who everybody go to YouTube, go subscribe to the Democrats YouTube channel, but House Democratic leader press availed, Rep. Jeffries.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
This is day 20 of the Trump Republican shutdown. And Republicans have shown zero interest in reopening the government, enacting a bipartisan spending agreement that actually is designed to make life better for the American people, and address the healthcare crisis that Republicans have created that is devastating people all across America. Our position as Democrats remain clear in the House and in the Senate. We need to reopen the government, and we need to do that now. We need to find a bipartisan path toward enacting a spending agreement that actually is designed to make life better for the American people, as opposed to hurting everyday Americans. And we need to decisively address the Republican healthcare crisis that is crushing people all across the country. Working class America, rural America, urban America, the heartland of America, small town America, and black and brown communities all across America.
Amen.
Yeah, amen.
Yep.
People need to understand that what's going on. Republicans control everything, and they will not negotiate. The government didn't shut down when Democrats controlled everything and Biden was president because he negotiated with Republicans to keep it open. Remember? That's what you do. You don't just like, oh, we're just gonna, we want everything, or we're not gonna, we're not even gonna negotiate.
I pushed the button. I apologize. I had to check out for a moment. Using.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, they won't even talk to Democrats.
No,
right.
You're right. They won't. They won't even bother. And as I've said a bazillion times now, the Senate could open up the government today, right now, as I'm speaking.
You've said it so often. Marjorie Taylor Greene is copying you.
And so John Fetterman as well, and
that's scary.
A few others. It's just like, hey, they could just stop it. The filibuster for this one bill.
That's right.
Chip Roy too. He's another one who's for it. Then let's let the filibuster is good if you do an actual one, and I'm for that. But what we do now is bullshit, and so. If they want to keep the filibuster, which I'm fine if they want to keep it, if they do it right. Otherwise, it's bullshit.
Right.
Which is why let's let it go. Let the Republicans do what they want. Let the Democrats do what they want. Let the people see what they want. I think that needs to be something
too that we are looking towards when we are looking towards candidates for next year. Is that we need to have Democrats who are absolutely in favor. None of this wishy-washy shit. You are in favor of filibuster reform, period. You need to be, and people go, oh my God.
Right.
No. How you want to do it, whether you would prefer to do it, what'd you say, Jody? The Al Franken way?
Al Franken way, which is basically 41 people have to be in the Senate.
At all times.
At all times. And he says you can tag out, and I'm like, no. They all have to stay.
No, I don't think they should be able to do that.
Right, but the idea
41
is
people have to stay, and as soon as the one person leaves, filibuster's over. Or you can do Mr. Smith goes to Washington.
Yeah.
Right. But either way, a legit filibuster as opposed to the bullshit filibuster that we have now. And we need to say, we don't care how you're going to do it, but it needs to be a legit version of the filibuster. It needs to be fixed, and you need to be for it. And if you're a Democrat who goes, well, I don't know, then we can be like, well, you can fuck off.
Yeah, they have to be asked that question. Every single candidate.
I agree.
Exactly.
But Republicans don't want to get rid of the filibuster. They never
Democrats, by the way. Democrats don't either. I mean, they just don't.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Republicans really don't. Democrats need to understand that. The reason why they say they don't want Democrats will say they don't want to get rid of it is because then Republicans will take advantage of that and they'll pass all this horrible stuff.
Look, it makes sense in a minority. If you're a minority, it absolutely 100% makes sense. But also, it only makes sense if it actually is functional. If you have a tool that doesn't fucking work, then there's no real fucking point.
But Republicans will never use it because their policies suck, and they know they suck, and they expect Democrats.
No. Republicans have used the filibuster. Republicans have used the filibuster. No. They have weaponized
I know they
use
it, but I'm saying if they got rid of, they won't get rid of the filibuster because they use the excuse of Democrats filibustered it. Sorry, we couldn't do that.
Right. That's the point of. Neither the Republicans nor the Democrats getting rid of it. If they have something that they don't think the public's going to like, and in general, Democratic policies are better.
Right. That's what I mean.
But if we got rid of it for everything, I mean, we already got rid of it for the fucking Supreme Court, which we need that back.
Right.
And all judges, we need to do that back.
Yep. Judicial reform across the board. Agreed.
Yeah.
But any legislation, fuck it. The House doesn't have a filibuster.
Right.
What
about the rules?
I'm perfectly fine with reinstituting it across the board so long as it's a legitimate filibuster.
Yeah.
That just says, hey, you want to stop it?
Adult diapers?
Well, the problem is there's so many good Democratic policies that never get passed because of the filibuster. Like Build Back Better.
Other things is that Republicans do not have the stamina most of the time to fight that kind of thing. Whereas Democrats, because it's the difference between fighting for something, fighting against. This is one of these things that they actually teach you in boot camp in the military. When you go in, you learn a little bit of military history and military strategy. And this is always one of the things that is promoted within the U.S. military, which is when someone is fighting for something, they are statistically, over time, armies, gangs, individuals, when you're fighting for something, you are more likely to win. The passion is there. There's all kinds of science behind it. But the fact is, if you're fighting for something, if you're fighting against something, or you're fighting what in sports is known as a prevent defense, statistically, you are less likely to succeed. You just are.
But my point was that we would get all these great policies when they don't get passed because of the filibuster. Most Americans just don't understand that, and they say, well, Democrats never do anything.
Right. No, I agree. I think that what should happen is either the old school filibuster comes back, or we just get rid of it for all legislation, bring it back for court appointments, and it'll show everybody what the Republicans want.
Exactly.
And guess what? They won't get reelected once they start passing these laws, and somebody signs it into law.
Well, that's assuming that they allow fair elections to continue. That to me is one of those things of I would in theory I would like it, but because we already know that the Republicans are doing everything they can to rig the system, it's one of the reasons why I see the value of having a filibuster, but I only see it if it actually is functional.
But you know what? If there wasn't a filibuster and Democrats actually got things passed, like the Build Back Better, which included that child tax credit and all these things that actually benefit Americans, I don't think Republicans would win another election.
Even with the gerrymandering, because what they're doing right now in Texas in particular, the Latino vote is going away.
Really bad. It's down 30 points.
So it's like,
But but it would also require the mainstream media to actually do some honest reporting and not sit there and say the economy's good, but why aren't people feeling
it? Well, the other thing
people will feel it. When people feel like when the child tax credit went in place, when people were getting checks for $300 and $400, $500 for their kids, people felt that. And that's why Biden's approval ratings were very high.
But what the left has to finally accept, especially and this is the broad left, has to finally accept the folks with the money, the limousine liberals, as I call them, have to suck this down. They have to swallow this down, whether they want to or not. And I know that they have been kicking and screaming and bitching and moaning and crying and gnashing their teeth and in every way possible. The reason that the right has been able to do what they've been able to do over the last 30 years is that they built an alternative media infrastructure.
Absolutely.
John Fugelsang has been hitting us hard here at the bar when we've had him in over the last few weeks about this. This has become one of his big hobby horses, and I hate to say it, but he's right on this, in that there's a difference between journalism and media, and media is about getting attention and eyeballs, and journalism is about truth and honesty. Now, in the past, the broad left has relied on the fact that the two of them had overlapped, which was great. But the right knew that, and the right knows we can't defeat the truth. If you were smacked in the face with the truth, we cannot defeat it. So they built this alternative media infrastructure. So that way they could lie their asses off and then call it news, slap the news label on it and say, see, this is, it's bullshit, but this is our shit. And your shit is shit and our shit is the truth. And the left went, well, but we'll let the mainstream media. No, the mainstream media didn't give a shit. The mainstream media, they would, I used to call this, I still do sometimes, fire sign journalism. I used to say that Rupert Murdoch would light his grandchildren on fire and film it, film them running up and down the street, burning to death, as long as it got ratings, because he wouldn't give a damn. Because they care. That's media versus journalism that cares about the truth. And in order to do that, on the left, we absolutely have to build that up. And among other things, that means for those limousine liberals, shut the fuck up and stroke the check. Shut the fuck up and slide me your card and send you guys money, send Jody and I money, send Stephanie money, and Bob and Frangela and everybody else that we know. Shut the fuck up and open your fucking paycheck. Because the only way that the left is going to be able to get away from this, it's a 1% to 3% margin for the right, because they have their alternative infrastructure and we have nothing on the left. You take what we have on the left and you rebalance it and you make sure that our alternative infrastructure is as great and powerful as theirs. And suddenly they are once again forced to fight against the facts, which will always be against the right. And they'll lose.
But even with alternative media, The problem is over there, they still don't deal with facts. Even the alternative right media is worse even than the alternative mainstream media.
Right. But that's but I'm saying there's nothing right now on the left. There's the center, which is leaning to the right, see CBS, see the potential takeover of CNN.
No, they're fair and balanced. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
As I've said for this is a thing from journalism school too. You can be fair or you can be balanced. This was I can't remember which of my professors said this. So there's a car wreck. Truck hits a car. 6 vehicles are involved. There's 1 person in each vehicle. You can be fair, meaning even-handed, meaning honest, and you cover what actually happened. Was there a medical incident and the person driving the truck hit the car and caused the rest of the accident? Was there a mechanical incident? Was there something else involved? Was it weather? Was it ever? That's fair. You're actually covering the facts. Then there's balanced. Balanced is you get a report from each of those 6 people. And each one, this is telling it is. But you cannot be fair and balanced. You cannot say that the result was, the fact is that the guy who was driving the truck had a medical incident and he crashed into the car and that was a chain thing that created, and say at the same time, also, we're giving, the same amount of time to all 6 people's perspective.
But it sounds so good to say fair and balanced.
Yeah, it's like most of the right wing
media.
Put
it on a bumper sticker.
Right, right.
Which is
That's
what everybody wants. But
People don't understand
and
that.
there was actually on Choose Views this morning. If you missed the 7:00 hour, it was really good. He has Professor Kevin M. Schultz. He's the author of Why Everyone Hates White Liberals, including white liberals. And he also, so he is at the University Illinois Chicago. And he's a really good historian. Anyway, but he was bringing up the Gilded Age and how, like, he was saying, look, we have been here before. But one of the things I think that he touched on that is a difference is that back then we had the muckrakers, right? There was media that was actually telling the truth and that were not, controlled by, the corporations or the, the millionaires and billionaires, the oligarchs, right? Yeah. So this is why right now, so I made the point, I was like, this is why right now our independent media is so important because they're kind of like the muckrakers today. That's why you guys are important. That's why everybody on the WCPT lineup, why Fugel sang, Dino Badella, Michelangelo Signorelli, Zerlina Maxwell, all of the wonderful independent media on YouTube now, Midas Touch, Roland Martin.
Yep. It's one of the things, because we got to head soon, but it's one of the things we should talk about tonight at the bar is because the purity test that we have on the left, and it's going to be hard for all of us. I'll admit it's going to be hard for me, but we've got to really revisit some of that shit, especially when we're looking at this guy up in Maine.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Brad Plattner.
We definitely want to talk about that. We weren't.
Still very popular. So.
I know he's very popular, but
what? We can talk on the politics bar if you want to.
Yeah, I was going to say let's leave that for later because we definitely need to be talking about that.
I'm going to need cocktails, and I need cocktails for that.
Talk about that.
But no, in the 4 minutes, so we did want to end on a good note. The No Kings protests around the country were amazing, just joyful and not violent. I don't think there was one arrest except for somebody blow up. Dick, a dildo.
Yeah, that was she did, but 22 MAGAs. Yeah.
Nothing caused by us. Nothing caused
by us. Except for the blow up penis.
Yeah, she did.
Well, but she didn't. I mean, she didn't do anything. She just
didn't do anything.
Right. She just showed up in a Stephen Miller costume.
I mean,
she showed up in a Stephen Miller costume.
Johnson.
That's
it.
When you show up in a Stephen Miller costume, or you could say she showed up in a Tiny Johnson costume.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Although it wasn't ever a Tiny Johnson, so maybe not.
It was way too good for that, but it was still too more formed than Stephen Miller as well. So there's all of that.
Definitely bigger than Trump.
But the way they tackled her and everything, she was like 60 years old. I was like, oh my God. The people, the MAGAs that showed up with guns were treated a lot better.
Yep.
So anyway.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us
thank
here.
you
for having us.
It was fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun hanging out in your, and we don't, it's the nice thing about this is that I don't have to worry about, doing any of the controls or nothing. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Just hanging out with you guys. And that's
yeah, you get to curse.
And you get to swear.
Fuck yeah. That's
Well, we will
get it all out. Get it all out.
Yeah, get it all out here.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. And we will see you guys later in the bar.
Yeah, we'll see you tonight.
I'm going to start mixing my cocktails.
All right. Yes,
we'll see you guys tonight.
Okay.
Back to getting our stuff ready. So thanks, y'all.
So
okay,
long.
bye.
Thank you.
Guys.
See you in a little bit.
Bye.
So that was great, huh, Anita?
That was fun.
That was super fun. It's so nice. And, it's just that this is one of the things that I really, like when we decided to start the podcast, that I was so looking forward to that, just to kind of have it, here's the topics, let's just go. Like wind us up and we're just going to go and have these conversations that need to be had. And hopefully you out there listening appreciated the content in this episode. I can't believe that it's already episode 47, but here we are.
I know, right? 47. That's not a very nice number. You know what? We're going to.
No, it isn't.
47 and a half. How about that? Or 40. Okay. We'll just skip 47 like they do with 13 floors. It's episode 48.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Anyway, so it was a lot of fun. I love Shawn and Jody.
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun, and we'll see them back in the bar tonight. So
yes, we will. Everybody, check out the Politics Bar.
The Politics Bar.
Yep. Yeah. Every day.
Right.
Every day. WCPT, or they also drop their podcast every day.
Yes, they do. They do. Very ambitious. All right.
Check them out.
Well, so long, everybody. Stay strong.
Yes,
stay in the fight.
Yes,
love you all.
Do. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.